All right. Today's lesson deals with really translating or transforming words into numbers, operations. Okay. A lot of students are afraid of word problems. Sometimes kids sort of shut down whenever they see words and reading involved in math. And so that's something that we're working on this year, is to not be so afraid, to not be so anxious or nervous. Or maybe for some kids, it's a little bit of laziness. And so it's just something we got to work on. Rather than being scared of it and running away from it, let's sort of see reading and math as a challenge to overcome and to get better at, and something to grow in. So this is going to help us throughout the year. Some of the things we talk about in this video will really apply through the whole year. So it might be good for us to actually make this big chart and maybe put it on our classroom wall so we can refer to it throughout the year. Okay, so this chart here, there's not many notes you have to take. It's sort of here for you, but it gives you phrases and key words that help you determine if it's an addition problem or subtraction, multiplication, division. And eventually you may get some that are sort of combinations of all those. And so just to get used to using some of these words and phrases, let's just go through them real quick. So addition. So our example here is r plus 12. So some number plus 12. These are all examples of what you could say or what might be written with words. Okay, adding 12 to a number plus 12, the sum of a number and 12. 12 more than a number increased by 12. Okay, all those phrases mean some number plus 12. Okay, let's look below here and look at subtraction. Okay, they give us n minus 8, and here are the phrases that could mean n minus 8. Subtract 8 from a number. So we're subtracting 8 from n. A number minus 8. 8 less than a number. So 8 less than n. A number decreased by 8. N decreased by 8. And taking away 8 from a number. All right. This is not an exhaustive, complete, full list of what you could see, but these are some common ones. All right. So just keep that in mind, that you'll most likely see these throughout the year, but you may see other phrases and words that you just gotta sort of use your language arts skills here in math sometimes and try to figure some of this out. All right, multiplication. All right, so 5w or 5 times w. Here we go. 5 times a number. 5 multiplied by a number, or the product. Okay. Product means the answer of multiplication problem. Okay. Actually, there's one we forgot on subtraction. I'm going to add it here. So look back at subtraction over here. And if you see the word difference, like, what's the difference between n and 8, some number and 8? If you see the word difference, that can give you a clue that it's a subtraction problem as well. Okay. All right, let's talk about division here. R divided by 4. You might see it written this way, R divided by 4. Okay, so 4 divided into a number. And this is where the definitions of a dividend, divisor, and a quotient are going to help. Okay, so dividend is, you can think of it as usually it's the bigger number that's being broken up, but it doesn't have to be bigger. But just think of it as the number that's being broken up. Okay. The divisor is how many groups it's being broken up into. Okay. Number of groups being divided into, okay, and then the quotient is simply the answer. Okay, I know it's kind of sloppy and small, so if you need to pause it and write that down really quick, it's just important to know the dividend and divisor especially. Okay, so for this first one, 4 divided into a number, some numbers being broken down into 4 groups is what that's saying. So the number being broken down is R, and then it's 4 groups divided by 4. The quotient of some number with a divisor of 4. Okay, so there's 4 groups. Some numbers being broken down into 4 groups here. You may also see this written with this box here, R divided by 4. All right, these are the 3 main ways you're going to see a division problem. And then a number divided by 4. Okay, so division can be kind of tricky because people get them flipped a lot, so this will take some practice. Okay. All right, let's move on down here and do a few examples. Write a word phrase for each algebraic expression. So this is where you're going to use this chart to help you with these 4 problems. Okay, so n minus 15, I think it's easiest just to sort of find the example up here. N minus 8 is similar to n minus 18. And you just pick a phrase that you're comfortable with and you write it. So really simply, a number minus 8 is probably going to be the easiest one. But you can write subtract 8, or sorry, in this case it's 15 from a number. Okay. I'm going to abbreviate a few things so we can get through this video. Okay. This won't have one right answer. It could have several different answers here. Okay. Number 2, m plus 12. That's all in parentheses, and then you have a minus 3. So there's sort of 2 parts to this. So let's focus on the parentheses first, following order of operations. So m plus 12 is similar to this one, addition. So we say a number plus 12, and then we have our minus 3, minus 3. Or you could also say a number plus 12 decreased by 3. Okay, there's several different answers here. Okay, number 3, we have 2 times y plus 8 in parentheses. So there's a couple different routes you could take here. Okay, I would suggest starting with whatever's in parentheses, just so you can have that first part and sort of follow the order of operations. So if we have y plus 8, we might say, let's use this one here, more than a number. So we can write 8 more than a number. But then we also have to remember to put in our times 2 right here, okay? So you could write 2 times 8 more than a number, or 2 multiplied by 8 more than a number. Or we could say the product of 2 and 8 more than a number, okay? All right, last one here. 5 plus w divided by 3, all right? So we know that w divided by 3, here's our example up here. There's a couple different options. I'm going to say 3 divided into a number. Okay, sort of using this format here. And then we got to remember to add our 5. Okay, so maybe the sum of 5 and 3 divided into a number. Okay, so there's multiple combinations you can write here. All right, let's finish this off Short on time here, so I'll just quickly run through these. So now we're given words, and we're going to write an algebraic expression. So a number decreased by 9. All right. If you need to look up here and see some of your keywords and phrases, please do that. It's going to help you a lot. So this one looks really similar to this one. Okay. You can sort of use that, match up the different formats to get you started and get you used to using this stuff. So a number decreased by 9. Some number n decreased by 9. N minus 9. Okay. The product, that's multiplication, of 15 and r. That's pretty simple here. So you can write 15r. You can write 15 with a dot times r. Excuse me, I had to sneeze there. Okay, you can write 15 with parentheses r. Any of those things all mean 15 times r. Okay. The quotient of a number with a divisor of 5. All right, let me erase some other stuff here. All right, so this one looks really similar to this phrase. The quotient of a number with a divisor of 4. So divisor is how many groups? So we know, you can write it a few different ways. So if you use the box, okay, the quotient, so here's our answer up here, up top, some number with a divisor of 5. Some number divided by 5, okay, or n divided by 5, or n divided by 5, all the same thing. And then lastly, this is going to be 2 parts here. We have a times, and we also have a sum. So it's going to be multiplication and addition, okay? So 3 times, so I can put a time symbol here. The sum, so there's going to be some sort of addition here. The sum of n and 6, so n plus 6, but this means parentheses, the sum of n and 6, okay? We worked on this sort of like this type of problem up at number 3. I'm circling it here, okay? So this should be in parentheses. This 3 times whatever this sum is, okay? Okay, cool. So this lesson's a bit more open-ended than other lessons. There's not, one right answer all the time with these word phrases, but this is going to help us throughout the year. If I don't put this chart on our classroom wall, somebody just remind me. This would be really helpful for all my students this year for word problems. Thanks for watching this video.